The United States and Qatar have agreed to stop Iran from accessing $6 billion in funds following Hamas's deadly attack on Israel. That $6 billion was released a few weeks ago as part of a prisoner exchange between the United States and Tehran. We got several American hostages freed from Iran by unfreezing that money. Earlier today, Secretary of State Antony Blinken confirmed Iran has not yet used a dollar of that money.
None of the funds that have now gone to Qatar have actually been spent or accessed in any way by Iran. Indeed, funds from that account are overseen by the Treasury Department, can only be dispensed for humanitarian goods, food, medicine, medical equipment, and never touch Iranian hands. We have strict oversight of the funds, and we retain the right to freeze them.
Obviously, releasing and unfreezing those funds was a very controversial move and highly criticized by many Republicans. The United States has not yet confirmed whether Iran was directly involved in the attack on Israel, but there's a lot of intelligence and sourcing out of Hezbollah and Hamas saying perhaps it was. Joining us now is someone who knows that part of the world very, very well, former ambassador to the United Nations and former National Security Advisor John Bolton. Ambassador, do you think Iran, even though the United States has said we have seen no hard intelligence that Iran was involved in this attack, do you think it was?
Well, there's no doubt that it was. I mean, I think the administration is bending over backwards to avoid the necessary consequence if they admit that Iran directed and controlled this attack. It would make it an Iranian attack on Israel via the puppets of Hamas and the risk of that exact same thing happening with Hezbollah. You know, there's this argument there's no direct evidence, as if they expect a letter from the supreme leader saying, you know, dear Mr. Hamas, you are hereby authorized to attack Israel. Yeah. That's not the way it works. That's not the way objective reality indicates the enormous influence that Iran has by financing, arming, training, assisting Hamas and Hezbollah. And that's really what I think people need to focus on. And just one sort of technical point where the administration says they can't find direct evidence. The U.S. intelligence and Israeli intelligence completely missed the attack. Yeah. So if they missed the big picture, why should anybody be surprised they missed the execute order that somebody must have given? I just think it's fear on the part of the White House that their nearly 3-year-long effort to appease the mullahs in Tehran is now about to come to an end.
What do you make of that failure of not just Israeli intelligence, but the CIA, American intelligence, to detect this attack? I mean, this was a huge attack. We're talking thousands of Hamas terrorists crossing the border, paragliding over, bulldozing through the wall. This was not a small thing. We're now hearing reports it was planned for 2 years. How did both our countries' intelligence services completely miss it?
Well, it's a very significant intelligence failure. I think it indicates sophisticated activity by both the Iranians and Hamas and Hezbollah, who are very much involved in the planning, I think, to make sure that their communications were secure, not using telephones, using couriers, making sure that they were meeting in secure locations. And so that means our task is higher. We can't always count on what we euphemistically call national technical means, eavesdropping and that sort of thing, to pick up intelligence. We need much, much more and better human intelligence.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.